What is up, everyone? I am back, and I know it's been a while. Let's be real. It's difficult. It's a difficult time right now with the whole pandemic, right? And I really hope that everyone is doing really well and they're healthy and that you're safe. Um, just like everyone else, I've been really busy and really just surviving. It's really difficult as an independent contractor or a freelance consultant. Um, in the digital space, and it's going to have its challenges. I lost some clients along the way, and that's just the reality of it. So I've been really just heads down focusing on just surviving and really making sure I have a roof over my head and food on the table. So again, hopefully everyone's being safe. And really what I want to do is really take a different format. I've been kind of reflecting being quarantined and being stuck that, what I really want to do with this channel. And it's been up and down trying to figure things out. A lot of transitions, part of personal growth. And I just feel like maybe I should just take a little bit more informal format. Like, as you can see, I'm using my microphone as attached to my desktop here. And what I want to do is, I've been getting some questions from some colleagues and friends about some of the processes and systems that they have in place for their business and for themselves personally for productivity. And I found myself literally consulting and even building some of those systems for them and what's been working for me personally. So what I want to kind of do is in this video is talk about a starting point, which is like the whole idea mapping. If you saw that video that I created, if not, I'll put a card link above me where you can go and watch that. I want to put that into practice. I want to kind of help you kind of design a system, and it's for fun too. You'll learn a new skill set as well too. I think it's a valuable skill set, and we'll be able to build something together and see what kind of results you get. I want to put it into practice, like how to go about and gathering ideas from the market, from friends, colleagues, coworkers, so forth, how to capture it, and really just kind of building a system to do that. Now, there are many different ways to go about it, but I really feel like this one is probably one of the most effective ways to gather that information and have more control over that data. So if you are really interested in seeing what that is, continue watching. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I'm just a guy who left an ex-corporate job in consulting about a few years ago, trying to pave a whole new path and trying to really figure things out. And I've been independent for the last few years and survived this long. So I've gone through the ropes and tried to figure out and still trying to figure out everything when it comes to building your own business for yourself, a remote business. So if you're interested in doing that, definitely consider subscribing. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the whole process of idea mapping and putting it into practice. Okay, so again, a prerequisite is to watch that video that I made around idea mapping and how you generate your business ideas. This is going to be part of that exercise. Here, what we're going to do is actually gather intel. This is going to be a way for us to gather ideas from other people in the market. I call it the market because you're asking people why they come to you, or what they think you're good at, or why they come to you for specific advice. So we're going to go and build this survey. Now, there are a lot of different ways in going out there to build surveys. There's SurveyMonkey, Typeform, Google Forms. But honestly, I think that we're all working on a budget, and I'm going to teach you a completely free way of creating this survey and have more control over the data all in one place. Now, there's pros and cons, but I honestly feel like this is the best way to organize your information. But first off, before we jump into that system, I want to kind of cover the whole point of this exercise. So as you can see here, what I'm showing here is a survey. I'm basically saying, thank you for helping me with my personal development. This survey should take no longer than 3 minutes to complete and is completely anonymous. I truly appreciate your time in helping me out. So the very main question here is, if you had to point out 3 things you think I'm good at, what would you say? And then you'll have a question. What is the first thing that comes to mind? What is the second thing that comes to mind? And the third. Now, if you had to come to me for advice, what would it be? So this is a pretty straightforward survey, right? But I can feel that it could be awkward if you went around and have to call a bunch of people or text them these specific questions. It can feel awkward, right? So I want to build a system where it's a simple link and really just tell them to help you out with your business exercise or however you want to call it, and that there's a low barrier of entry or awkwardness for people to jump on a call and then give you this answer and you're writing it down, right? This is a way they can do it on their own time that's convenient, and it's fairly quick for them to do, whether it's on their phone or on their desktop or laptop or tablet. So that way, it's just a low barrier of entry. People will have more of an inclination to go ahead and just go and complete the survey for you. Now, let's go ahead and actually build this out. So the tool that I use is what we call Airtable. So here's Airtable on my dashboard. So it is a completely free tool. They do have subscription services where there's more premium features. So let's go ahead and look at those really quick, just so I can prove to you that it is in fact free. If I go ahead and upgrade it, and as you can see here, that it is a completely free subscription that gives you 1,200 records per base, and we'll talk about what a base is. And you have unlimited bases. Now, if you want additional features and more space, you can certainly upgrade. But honestly, for this particular exercise, you can totally do this completely free, and you can go a long way with 1,200 records. So that's Airtable in terms of their subscription services as of today. It is May of 2020. It's always going to be subject to change, but as of today, it is completely free. Let's go ahead and go back to my dashboard, my workspace here. And as you can see, there's different what they call bases. It's short for databases, and Airtable is a relational database system. Now, it's kind of like Excel and Microsoft Access database if they were to have a kid, but a much user-friendly way. So I won't go into complete detail of all the different features of Airtable. You can definitely certainly explore. There are video tutorials, but I do plan on creating some tutorials that are relevant that might be helpful in terms of how you run your business, how you manage your clients, maybe your own personal productivity. But let's go ahead and jump in and creating a survey. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a whole brand new database. I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch. And let's call this survey. And then we're going to go ahead and open it up. Now, by default, you're going to see these fields or columns. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start completely clean by deleting them by right-clicking and delete each field. However, this first one I'm unable to delete. It's only because, again, Airtable is a relational database. You need to have a primary key. You need to have a unique identifier for each of your records. So we can't delete it. This is what makes it unique. So what I'm going to do is going to call it maybe kind of like an auto-generated number just for this purpose, because we did say that the survey is going to be anonymous. So let's go call it a response ID. And there's all these different field types. So I already know there's one called auto number. And you can certainly explore all the different field types if you were to choose to open up an Airtable account. But this one will auto-generate a unique number for each ID. If I were to hit save, it automatically did it for these 3 blank records. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and delete these records because I want to start completely clean. So that's the response ID. I know that's working, and I can resize the width. So let's go ahead and complete our survey. So we know in our survey, we want to capture a first response. So I'm going to say response 1. Make it a single line text. This could be a short description. Let's make it response 2. Save that. And then response 3. And then our last one was us asking about advice. So let's call it advice response. Okay. So these are all text fields. And then I'm going to call this table all. I'll just go call it surveys. And then maybe my view here, call it all responses. So I created the structure. This is where all the data is going to be dumping into when you do get a response. Now let's go ahead and create a form for the survey. So you create the view, and there's an option that says form. So let's go ahead and create that, and I'm going to call this a survey form as the view. and it's going to auto-populate the label here. Now, let's go ahead and open up that Word document that I had, and basically going to copy and paste all that information here. So I'm going to capture this first section here, which is basically going to be my description. Let's copy that, and then go to the description and paste it. There you go. There's my response 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and get those questions copied and then change it. Now, what's interesting is that you can change the text, but it's not going to affect the field that you created. This is where that information is going to get stored when they respond to this question. Now, you notice there's also an option to make this required. So we want to make this one required. And let's go to response 2. Let's copy that. Make that required. Response 3. Okay, now we've got our advice response. Okay, make that required. And I think I forgot to make this one required here. All right, so we should be all set. Required, required, required. All right, so that's our form. Now let's go ahead and test this out. So there's two ways of doing this. Is in this form, you'll have a share form button. This is a unique link to this form. This is live. You can regenerate the link if you wish to, or embed it into your website. But what I'm going to do is also show you the second method, which is open the form. So when you hit open form, it's going to open it up into your browser. And again, this is a unique link. And once it loads up, we're going to go ahead and play with it. So here we are. We have our survey. So it all looks good, very simple, nothing too crazy. So let's go ahead and enter the information. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Let's say web development. Databases, people for the third one, and let's go with the last one is financial advice. Okay, so let's go ahead and submit it. Boom, it's been submitted. I'm going to close this window, go back to Airtable. Let's go look at all of our responses. There you have it. Now you can see the auto-generated field because we deleted the first 3 records. So this is number 4. It's the next number in the sequence. And then you can see the responses right there, real time, without any lag. The beauty of it is that once you have all the information here, you could do so much more. But that will make this video very, very long. I just want to kind of show you the basics of how to structure a table in a database in Airtable, create a free survey, and do it fairly quick. And then you can easily send that link out and gather as much information from all the people that you're asking for input from. Now, again, look for that video I did on business ideas around idea mapping to get a good idea what this exercise is about. But this is a way to put it into practice and without having to like write it down on a notebook and potentially losing it, because this is cloud-based, it's mobile friendly. They have a desktop app. Airtable is such a great tool when you decide to scale. So I can go back to my databases here, go home on the top left, and you can see I could get to all my bases here. Survey is one of them. So again, if I were to go back to that form and then copy this link, copy, and then basically go to my browser just to prove that this is a live thing. And you can always cloak the link and make it more user friendly instead of these weird little letters here. But there you go. Here's my survey form. This is completely live. But yeah, if this is something of interest, hopefully you guys found a lot of value in this, that you can put something together really quick to generate some ideas, get as much input from as many people as possible. But this is one way of really just pulling together, and it's completely free. Who doesn't like free, right? So if you like this video, if you like this kind of format, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. I truly appreciate your time in watching. And if you really do want to see more of these type of things, these type of content, I'd be more than happy to build some more systems and organization and productivity tools using Airtable and provide those tutorials. So I love it. I love this tool, and I really hope that you did find some value and hopefully you put it into practice. And that's pretty much it. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you guys the next one. Bye.